hotel. I mean, you believe ISIS is building a hotel. And it's actually just completed. I hear it's very nice, but I don't think...
Are you serious? They're building a hotel?
Yeah.
I pray to God they're not going to provide captive children for sex parties. I mean, this is sickening. These people are trading in children as young as 8 years of age in brothels, Donald.
No, it's horrible. So it'll end, believe me. If I'm president, it'll end, and it'll end quickly.
What do we do about all of the people that Obama has planted inside the government who are so secure in the bureaucracy, inside defense, inside the Justice Department, and they cannot be gotten out? Could you use executive orders to remove some of the most radical of them?
I think you get them out. I think we have a lot of people that now are bureaucrats, and, you know, they talk about Common Core, like Jeb Bush, and a lot of people love Common Core. And I like local education. But you have a lot of these bureaucrats in Department of Education. I don't think they even care. Many of them don't care about your child's education. And frankly, there's so much fat in Washington right now. And there are a lot of people that just have essentially no-show jobs in Washington. Everybody knows it. Nobody talks about it. And it'll stop.
Donald, do you think the government should be running our schools as they currently do? I don't think so. You just said so.
I think we're talking about, you know, when you talk about Common Core, where, again, Jeb Bush and a couple of people that are running against me on the Republican side, they're in favor of Common Core, but Jeb is strongly in favor of Common Core. And I think that alone would be a reason, and he's weak on immigration, you know, very weak on immigration, as you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw what I did yesterday with the They Come for Love.
Yeah, I did see that. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard Jeb Bush say. Who wrote that for him?
I don't know. I don't get it. They come for love. In the meantime, you see what happened in San Francisco with Kate and so many other people. It's disgraceful. But
well, you know, yeah, and Kate's parents are filing a lawsuit against this crazy city and against Sheriff Murky Kami and the others who freed that illegal alien and who killed their daughter. It's crazy going on in America. What's crazy is going on in America right now. People are screaming about the illegal aliens. The number one issue for you, I know that. And you would build a wall. By the way, I agree 100%. A wall is rather cheap to build. I don't know what these prognosticators are saying. It's so hard to build. As you said, it's harder to build a 50-story building than it is to build a wall. You want to talk about that for a minute? How hard is that to figure out?
The wall is so easy to build. You know one of the reasons it wasn't built? You know, 15 years ago and 10 years ago, Hillary Clinton, everybody wanted the wall. You know one of the reasons it wasn't built? Because they couldn't get an environmental impact statement. Do you believe this? We couldn't. They couldn't get it approved environmentally because they were.
There was probably a reptile on the border that would have been crushed by the wall. But I say walls work, and the best example, Mr. Trump, is Israel. Everybody forgets that the Palestinians were killing Jews left and right, blowing up discos, blowing up pizza parlors, and the Jews were building a wall with the West Bank, and the very same liberals who were screaming, don't build a wall with Mexico, said Israel's racist, Israel's this, Israel's that, don't build the wall. Guess what? Since that wall went up at the West Bank, I haven't seen one bombing.
Right. You know what? It worked very well in Israel, and it works in other places, and it'll work great here. Now, you have to build a wall. You can't build like a little toy that they have now, where people just crawl over the fence or they get a little ladder from Home Depot and they walk over the fence. Build fences. I build walls. Do you ever see the precast plank where they do parking garages and roadways over highways and, like, what they can do? And you stand it on end, and, you know, it's what I do best, in all fairness, what I do best in life, which is nice to have a president that knows about infrastructure, because the country, it is literally, our infrastructure is just dying on us. The bridges, the roads, the tunnels, the airports, Michael. So, anyway, but you get precast plank, very tall. You can go 50, 60 feet high. Nobody's going up 50. That's like a 6-story. You drop it right into a footing, into a good solid footing, and you've got yourself. And you can have it made beautiful. You'd actually have it as a beautiful-looking wall. You'd make it architectural. You'd make it beautiful. And people wouldn't get on it, and there's no way you get through it. And
wait, I assume you would not have these planks built in China. I make that assumption.
Built? No. They'll be built right here. Believe me, they're not being built in China.
Donald, before you go, the polls are amazing. HuffPost, no less, tracking 149 different polls from 29 pollsters nationwide. Trump 30%, Carson 12%, Bush 8%. Would you? I know it's too soon, but people are asking because I feel a Trump Carson or a Trump Fiorina ticket would be a winner. I don't see how that could lose. I think that Ben Carson is one of the finest people I've ever seen come along. I don't think he's presidential material. I don't think he has the experience to run the office. I think he'd be a great vice president. What do you think?
Well, I like him a lot. He's been very nice to me. He's been very supportive because when I was taking heat, he agreed with pretty much everything I said. So it's always nice. And so I do like him. I think he's a terrific guy, actually.
But you're not willing to say who you'd pick for VP. You're not there yet.
I mean, I would certainly not rule that out at all. I think it's an interesting choice. It could be a very good choice. But we have to see really where we are, the landscape in, 6-7 months from now. Let's see. First thing I want to do is win. After I win, I want to, make a great choice, and I'll be talking to you, and I'll be talking to other people, because, frankly, that's, to me, the vice president, that's a very important choice. Not only in terms of election, but in terms of once you get there, you have to have the right person. But I think it's a very, very important choice.
Yes, it is, and of course we're getting ahead of ourselves. So looking ahead, people are saying Trump's running hot right now, but it's a long race. It's over a year to go. But you're engaged in this campaign every second, every day. No one knows how you get the energy for it. God bless you. But they're saying that you're gonna peak, you're gonna drop out. How the heck do you maintain your stamina, Donald? Is there a secret?
Well, maybe it's good genes. I don't know exactly what it is. But I'm just I'm energized, and I've been that way for my life, and it's mostly because I enjoy what I do, and I see a lot of progress. Maybe if I were number 17 in the polls or number 15 in the polls, or some of these guys have actually zero. That means out of thousands of people that are polled, they have nobody said they'd vote for them. And at some point, they're going to start dropping out. And maybe if I were number 15, I wouldn't feel so much stamina. But it's nice to be number one, and really number one by a lot. So we'll see.
You are, by a huge margin. You've struck a chord. People are trying to explain it. The very people who attacked you in the beginning are now suddenly coming around saying, well, maybe he's not so bad, because they're hedging their bets that you just might win. I feel you will win if you sustain it. And the only thing I ask out of this support for you is simple. I only want to run the NIH, and I want to clean up the science and medical establishments in America, which are as corrupt as you can imagine. They're doing no basic science. Medicine has been corrupted by politics. Instead of producing scientific reports, everything has to have something about global warming in it or gender identity.
True.
We have a problem at every level of this country has a problem, and it wasn't started by Obama, but I hope it's ended by Donald Trump.
Well, you're going to see a lot of things happen. If I win, you're going to see a lot of things happen. And, my theme is Make America Great Again. That's what's going to happen, Michael.
Donald, you probably have another show to go to, but do you want to spend 5 more minutes with me after this commercial break, or you have to run along?
So much
How long is your break, Mike?
And the
It's 2
waterfalls.
Okay.
How long is your break?
You could probably appear on Telemundo during the break.
And I'd much rather do it the next time, because I'm not another show, but I have people coming in, and it's a whole big group of people.
No, that's okay. You don't have to explain. I'm very happy to have had you on for 15 minutes. See you in Mar-a-Lago this winter, I hope.
Very good.
I hope. Thanks, Donald. God bless you. Good luck. This is the Savage Nation. I'll be right back. Jim on WABC. Go ahead. You're on the Savage Nation.
Yeah, the law that Obama is following was passed during the George Bush administration in 2002, and it is a law that must be followed, and it must be obeyed.
Well, why must you follow a law? Some laws are on the books that are not being followed. There are other laws which say that the president has an obligation to protect our borders. Why is he not following that law?
Stars above.
He's not.
I was hoping to get a chance to speak with you.
The borders
You left your home
You
to
made a
cross
point, but you said that it's
space.
Bush's fault.
Is
Bush
it
wrote a
true
law.
You can never go back.
I've heard that argument before, but
This is
which
home
law
now.
do you follow? Which
To
do you
take
choose to
such a
ignore?
risk and
In
give
other
up
words,
your old life.
Obama is selectively
Why did you
following
do
one
it?
law and ignoring another.
I didn't say it was Bush's fault.
I believe in what the
Then
initiative
why
stood
don't
for.
we agree
I still do.
first that the nation's
noble of
sovereignty
you.
is under assault? Would you
I'm
agree
not
with
sure
that
I
or
can
not?
make the same choice.
Well, yeah,
My
no.
turn for a question.
Oh, no. So you're
Do
in
I get to
favor
know
of
your
open
name?
borders.
I didn't say that.
Of course. I'm
wait a minute,
Avela
what are you
Kajar,
saying then?
curator for the
I
repository
said
of
the
history.
law must be followed.
We study relics of
No,
our
but
past.
which law? What do you mean the law? There are many laws. There's no such thing as the law. There's
There was something I wanted to talk to you about. Pathfinder, how much do you know about our history?
I still have a lot to learn.
Centuries ago, the Scourge targeted my people. Our ships were the first to go dark. Many of those ships went down over Havarl. The wilds of that planet are filled with history. A scientist on Havarl just contacted me with a new nav point of an intact crash site. A huge opportunity. But with Remnant patrolling the area, we can't get close enough. Not like you can.
How do you know about me and the Remnant?
I have friends in the Resistance. They heard your conversation with Ephra. I know it's a lot to ask, but you have a ship and the means to get past the Remnant. Without your help, I'm stuck.
I know why me.
I don't think Afro would be too happy with this arrangement.
Ephra doesn't have to know, and if he finds out, he can direct his anger at me.
It takes guts to stand up to him.
I'd face worse to get a piece of our history back.
I'm not tripping on that, bro. You don't mind me.
I've always wanted to give archaeology a try.
Oh, I was hoping you'd say that. If you find anything, I'll be here. Thank you, Pathfinder.
They shouldn't be allowed here. My brother is one of
Trade? Trade. Trade.
Are you asking or telling?
Wondering, do you exchange goods and services? How does your economy work?
We pay for things with a currency called credits. Abstract wealth.
The cat offered gifts, made odd bargains, never traded. What are your credits worth? What can we do with them?
You pay them to us for whatever we're selling.
Now we cut open the heart. What do you offer?
I don't know. What do you want?
Your ship?
Not for sale.
Worth a try.
Is there something else I can do for you?
Yes. Call me Soka. I run cargo between Aya and other worlds. Good work. Good at it. You're here to help my people. Prove it. I need help. One of my suppliers off-world stopped checking in. Has things I need. There could be trouble.
We might have different definitions of trouble. What do you mean?
Natural hazards, wild predators, misadventure, what do you mean?
Same thing. What's your supplier carrying exactly?
Supplies I need, exactly. Things to keep my people alive. Essentials. You have a ship? I have my supplier's nav point. His name is Keldo. Find him, his supplies. Come back and prove you're helpful. Then maybe we trade.
I don't trust them.
Not exactly sure why my screen's blinking.
Enjoy the docks. For now, that's all you have access to.
I am Enro Bosan, assistant to Governor Paran Shai. You're free to explore this area, but the city is off limits. Until that changes, I'll be your liaison. How may I help you, Pathfinder?
Thanks for your time, Enro.
Of course.
Pathfinder, are we going to Vold or Havarl?
You know, Costa, poker is its own kind of...
Still not playing with you.
I'll play.
Really? Gambling doesn't seem like your style.
Why? Because I have more degrees than you have fingers.
Shots fired. All right, Doc. You're on.
I'll be right back. It's getting annoying.
It's an entire body of law. So which law are you referring to? And why would you say only that law must be followed? There are other laws. There are other laws about the border that are not being followed by Obama. So you're in favor of open borders, is what you're saying.
That's right.
Why would you favor open borders?
Because an open country has got open borders.
No, I asked you why you favor open borders.
That's why.
That dumb shit.
Because of,
What's why? What's why? So you think America will be a better place if 30 million illegal aliens are allowed to walk in, or 60 million?
they're not allowed to walk in. They walk in. What are you going to do? Shoot them?
You're not answering the question. Let's stick with the big question. Would this country be better off protecting its borders and asserting its sovereignty, or having no borders whatsoever and letting anyone walk into the country?
You can't have a country with no borders.
Oh, so you're confused. You're contradicting yourself. You just said you can't have a country with no borders. Then you just said an open country should have open borders. So which way is it?
Every country has got borders, whether they're...
Well, that's what I just said. That's what I just said, but your senility is showing, not your rationality. You just said two things at once. You said every country has borders. Then you said an open country has open borders. So then you say you favor an open border.
Every country has got...
So therefore you favor... Then you favor the dissolution of America. You favor the dissolution of our country.
No, what I favor of... Listen, how come if this president is so terrible, how come you're free? How come you're not in prison?
Wait a minute. You mean he created my freedom?
I didn't.
You mean he freed me from jail? Obama liberated me from bondage? Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is, if the president is so terrible, why doesn't he put you in jail?
Well, on what grounds would he put me in jail? What's the law to put me in jail?
Oh, there's plenty of laws.
No, I want to know what law could he put Michael Savage in jail for?
He could put you in jail because why does he need a law if he's so terrible? Like,
you're just going in circles again.
Why
so
does
now
he
you're
need a law
in
to
favor of a
put you in
dictatorship?
I didn't say that.
Well, what did you say?
You in jail if he's so terrible. Why can't you answer the question?
But you're asking a dumb question. It's a non sequitur. It has no meaning.
It has
no reason. There's no basis to put a commentator who despises his activities in jail. We live in a free country. I don't know what country you came from, but in this country we have the First Amendment.
Well, so what? Stalin had a First Amendment too, but
But Stalin didn't become Stalin overnight, did he?
Huh?
Stalin didn't become Stalin overnight, did he? Did Stalin put all the intellectuals who opposed him in the Gulag Archipelago within the first few years of his regime? No, he did not. It took him a long while to do that. Do you know that or not?
Well, of course.
Well, of course. Now you know history as well. Now you're an expert in history. How long did it take Hitler to become a pure dictator?
Again.
Would put in jail.
I asked you, how long did it take Hitler to become a full dictator?
I don't know.
Well, but you're an expert on history.
The day?
You just said to me, how come Obama doesn't put me in jail if he's such a bad guy? And I said to you that he's only just gotten started. That's number one. But number two, there's no basis to commit people to jail who oppose you in a free country, is there?
To a dictator there is a dictator.
That's right, but every dictator moves slowly. They don't move overnight. Did you know that? Most dictators take a long while to achieve their ends. Did you know that or not?
You said most. That means that some don't.
That's right. That means that eventually he may do what you say, and then you may be a happy man because you won't have to listen to any discord. Would you be a happier man not hearing any opposition to Obama?
Man, because you're the dumbest.
Let me ask you something. Would you be a happier man if every channel on television, every radio station, every newspaper printed only good things about Obama? Would you be a happier man?
No.
So then why are you suggesting I should be arrested?
Because you
what's the giggle? What's the giggle every time I ask you a question? What's the giggle? I don't get it.
You say it's so he's such a terrible man. You say he's the same as Stalin. Stalin would not.
No, I didn't say he's the same as Stalin. I said he's a petty dictator. I said he's a petty dictator. Do you know the difference?
A petty dictator could put you in jail, can't he?
No, he cannot. He doesn't have the power to do so yet.
Here's something else that he could do. He could put you on trial, trial after trial after trial. Everybody is...
And what would he put me on trial for?
Whatever he wants. You're breaking some law.
What law am I breaking?
Sending the nav point for
for one thing, you're speaking against the president. You're telling lies.
Listen, moron. There is no law against speaking against the president. How long ago did you emigrate to America?
There is a law against...
No. Answer the question. How long ago did you emigrate to America?
I was born in America. That's...
By the way, which concentration camp were you a guard in? Was it Bergen-Belsen or was it Dachau? Which camp were you a guard in? I don't know.
I don't think
was it Bergen-Belsen or Dachau?
You see what I'm...
Can you tell us which camp you were a guard in? In which camp did you torture prisoners? Bergen-Belsen or Dachau? I'll be right back. At the end of the last hour, a man with a strange Eastern European accent called his country and said he said that Obama is doing the open border thing because he's following a Bush law. And he has to follow the law, which of course is absurd. Because there are many laws about the border that are on the books that Obama's not following. So he's just selectively interpreting which laws to follow. And of course he's selecting the law that he wants to follow, which is to burst up borders and melt down our sovereignty. Well, the caller went on and on. And he said, if he's so bad, how come you haven't been arrested? Which is absurd. And it ended with me insulting him. That's the only way you can deal with someone who's crazy and not being rational. Savage. Lynn Arid, welcome to this Savage Nation. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I think you are a racist,
All right. Now, why don't you say something intelligent? Just show us. Look, I know you went probably to the 5th grade. You sure have a higher vocabulary than that, don't you?
I'll be right back.